4 years ago, Halo Infinite launched, and despite a lot of excitement, the return of an art style that many of us had longed for, similar music, a great multiplayer that's competitive and fair, a campaign that feels more in line with the Bungie campaigns at times, the game released and didn't have the content to keep people hooked, to keep playing Halo Infinite, and a mere matter of months passed by and the player base dropped off a cliff and moved on to other things. And it's kind of been really unfortunate to see, the post-launch of Halo Infinite, because 343 as a studio was pretty much gutted. People were either fired or quit or let go, and the team restructured under new management and renamed themselves and switched to Unreal Engine, and they started building a new set of projects, and the first one's been revealed. And I mean, here's the great thing. It's super exciting to see Halo Combat Evolved done like this in a full remake fashion. This is one of my favorite games of all time, and I will be so excited to play this the day that it finally releases. I will be there day one. I'll be playing through this over and over again by myself, with friends, revisiting it. I'm excited. I have mostly excitement for this news, and it's just weird because I'm in this place where, yeah, as far as the actual remake itself goes, there's things that might be questionable, or why did they do this, or why did they not do that? There's sprint, and there's weapons added, and new campaign missions, and, voice work that's been redone, and some of the stuff will not vibe with people, and some of it will. I mean, you can't even drive the Warthog far out into the water on Silent Cartographer like you were used to, because they put an invisible barrier there. So there's plenty of criticisms that are very valid to make about Campaign Evolved and what is being done here, but I'm of multiple minds. First of all, this is a remake, not a remaster or an anniversary type thing like, Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary and Halo 2 Anniversary were. This is a full-on remake in the veins of like a Silent Hill 2 or a Resident Evil 4 or a Shadow of the Colossus, and I've always kind of been of the mind that if the original is available and accessible for everyone, that a remake should kind of go out of the comfortable limits to make something new and separate that stands alone. I mean, most people feel that Resident Evil 4 and Silent Hill 2 are great remakes, but they do not replace the original at all, and there's plenty of differences. And I think that's where we're at with Halo Campaign Evolved as well. It's going to be different. There's going to be things you're not going to like. There's going to be things you're going to love. Sure, there'll be people that this is their first time playing Halo, and this is how they will know the experience, and it's not the intended experience of the original creators. But I think remakes bring a new life to series that people haven't got to experience, can jump in, and I really think that Campaign Evolved is going to be great for the PS5 audience and for people coming back to Halo and getting a simple fresh start after much of the series got convoluted or got away from people. But my big issue is that back when I was so excited for Halo Infinite, like many of you, we were there, we were watching the trailers, the blog posts, we were excited for the future of Halo. New books were coming out, setting up the future. They were trying to fix and kind of reset what happened in Halo 5 that people didn't really care for. And you could feel all the hype, all the excitement for the future of Halo and Halo Infinite's release. And I think a lot of what that was is it's like, hey, this is going to be the future of Halo. This is going to be Halo moving forward. We're going to fix the story. We're going to correct it. We're going to put it on a great path. There's going to be like campaign add-ons. There's going to be sequels. The multiplayer is going to be back to a more classic type of play that resonates with Halo fans more. And we're going to move forward, and we're going to get Halo back on track. Halo will truly be back, as people always say when a new Halo comes out. And I think Halo Infinite, 8 to 9 times out of 10 hit the mark, but it just dropped the ball just a little bit too much to really truly bring Halo back. And I think it's so unfortunate, because Halo Infinite is a fantastic game that I love dearly. It's in my top 25 of all time, one of the most nearest and dearest games to my heart. It made me a content creator. It did so much for me, and I love that game. I truly do, and I feel better about it than most people do. But this is where my biggest issue comes in with Campaign Evolved. It's not so much Halo Campaign Evolved itself, because like I said, I'm really cool with remakes being something different than the original, and I think this will stand beside the original Combat Evolved and not replace it, and I think that's important. But it does show that we're going back to the well again. We're we're not continuing forward with what Halo Infinite set up, with that narrative, with that progress of evolving the combat, evolving the multiplayer, the story, all those things. And maybe that's something that is going to come later. Maybe they're working on a Halo 7 right now, a follow-up to Halo Infinite that will come out in 5 years, 4 years, whatever. And this is just something to kind of train them in Unreal and get them prepared for that moment. But we don't really know that right now, right? Like the story of Halo Infinite is being continued in a book that comes out later this year. And while it has been said to kind of be something to take us to the next game, we don't really have any actual information about there being another game. And it's very easy to see why people would be concerned when, the Halo 4 story didn't really get finished properly, and then it wasn't finished in comics, and then the Halo 5 story started, and then it didn't really get finished properly, and it was finished in books, and then Halo Infinite was kind of this soft reboot all over again, and it feels like we're doing that again. We're going back to resetting Halo, and that's okay once and maybe twice, but man, 3 or 4 times is just too much. And while I have lots to say about Campaign Evolved, the things I like about it, the things I would love to see in it that would be changed, I do just feel like we're going backwards, and that's really sad to me, because I want Halo to be this big player that can move forward and handle more than just like a campaign redux. Like, Halo was always launched with a suite of modes and campaign and multiplayer and Forge and all these different things. And what this really tells me, and I don't mean any disrespect when I say this, is that 343 Studios now, or Industries now, Halo Studios is saying, okay, we need to do something that we can truly handle. We need to say to the fans, this is a campaign experience only. That's why it's in the title. And we are bringing you the campaign with full split screen and 4-player co-op. It's going to work. It's going to look great, run great. It's going to be on all these platforms. And we're going to start somewhere we know that we can succeed. We're not going to worry about having to have the multiplayer suite up at the same time, all these modes people expect. We're setting the expectations lower. We're going to something safe, and we'll build from there. There's probably going to be a separate multiplayer project in a different game. We've heard about that being rumored. And then they can just continue to release, campaigns alongside this live service, like ongoing multiplayer, maybe potentially, maybe a Halo 2 remake and then a 3. It does beg the question, is this going to be just Halo Combat Evolved remake and then they're done? Or are they going to do 2 and 3? And then if that's the case, is MCC ever getting ported to PS5? Is Halo 5 ever coming over? If Halo 7 was a thing, are you going to give Halo 7 to PS5 players who have only played Halo 1? It really does beg the question of, are we just resetting everything and just going back through the motions, or are we still going to continue? And I think there's a lot of questions left up in the air, both for the project that is Campaign Anniversary itself, Campaign Evolved, but then also just the future of Halo. And when there's a year still to go before we even play Campaign Evolved, let alone understand further projects, it's concerning as a Halo fan to wonder if there's going to be more Halo moving forward in a way that you want, evolving the combat, evolving the story, pushing us forward, competing with other people on the market. Like we just saw Battlefield 6 have a huge comeback, and we've seen Call of Duty, continue to just dominate the entire industry every year, and we want Halo to be back there. And this is, I'm of two minds as I come to conclusion here of this little spiel I'm on, is that on one hand, I think it's really smart to, shuffle up the team and rebrand and start with something that you feel like you can really, really land safely as your first project. It may not be as ambitious. It may not be exactly what people were hoping for, but it's something that you can probably pull off, something you can do and succeed with. And in one sense, I'm really happy about that, because I think we need to get 343/Halo Studios to this place where they have a firm foundation and people are confident and happy with their work. And I think that's what they're doing here. They're setting themselves up for success. But it does still bode, on the other hand, negatively for what the future of Halo could be. And can they end up doing a full-scale Halo project like Halo Infinite that is able to come out and land and be supported post-launch and please everyone? I don't know if we're going to get that type of game anymore. It might just be something that's pieced out. But hey, if they can get this right, I think they're on a good path. I am really looking forward to it. I hope that more people are excited about a remake project than they are about having Halo Combat Evolved again, 1-to-1. I mean, we've had that before several times. This is something separate. I really hope people will claw back on their disappointments with different things for Halo campaign Evolved. Obviously, it's completely okay to be disappointed in things, to not like things, and I don't want to take that away from you. There's things in it I don't like, but it does seem like, hey, why don't we just kind of enjoy what this is, take this in, let this be its own thing, and, you know, when we play it next year, we'll see. Maybe they'll really surprise us with this new experience, and I'm just personally excited to have more Halo. I couldn't be more thrilled. I'm going to bed at night thinking about Halo. It's great to just have that Halo hype that's so specific and so just exciting for Halo, and it's something completely different than hype for any other game. I love it. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that campaign Evolved looks good as a remake? Do you think it's not faithful enough? Are you happy with this direction the studio's taking, making this their first project? Or are you kind of like me and you're just a little bit worried about like what the future of actually moving Halo forward is? I would love to hear it. Guys, very exciting time. Got plenty more to talk about later, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.